The mental part is everything, and I pretty much just learned that younger just for being competitive, just learning how to talk noise and just see how a person react. Do they go in their shell? And if you know they in their shell, then you just keep on. So, but we learned that from, the hood, 'cause we ran raised in the hood. So I just transitioned that over to, high school and just playing in the sports world. It's so key because that's everything. That's probably like 98% of playing football is the mental part.
All over, and the pass is intercepted.
Today I'm gonna stop the noise. Today I'm gonna make the choice. Today I'll do it. Today I'm
Good
gonna be
job,
a
very
boss.
good job
Today I won't
reacting,
take
Chris.
a loss. Today I'll do it. Today I'm gonna be a god. Today all gonna play.
Man, welcome to another episode of Connected Podcast, where we connect, where we reflect and give you the knowledge so you can put it to the test. I am your host, Aaron Williams. Yeah, I've been working on that. You like that?
That was
I've
good.
been working on that.
That was all
I got
right.
my co-host here, my guy Brad Smith, and we also got a special guest here. But before I get to him, man, how's you doing? How was your weekend? How's your mental? I like to do we always say we always need to check up on each other.
Yeah.
But we never call.
When
We
I try
always
to-
say it through podcasts and social media.
Yeah.
So,
When
how's
I,
your weekend, man?
when
What's
I try
up?
to check on you and show you love, you reject me, man. I don't appreciate
Man,
it.
I don't even
you
want to.
rejecting
I don't
my-
want to go there about
rejecting
that.
my, no, I was good.
It's all love.
Fan was good. A lot of time. The in-laws, Easter weekend, got to eat, Easter egg hunt, and all the
Easter
kids and all that. So it was good. It was
Y'all still do the hiding the Easter egg?
hide the Easter
You
eggs.
put money in there? You
I-
rich, so I know there's some.
Relax.
How much money you put in there?
Relax. I put none. I don't do it.
You don't put no money?
No,
in
I
there?
didn't. But like my wife
Oh,
and
okay.
in-laws,
So
they put money.
not
in.
to because your kids will see this, so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
give us a little.
I'm not.
inside of what's a little like inside the egg.
I'm
you
not.
know?
I'm not that guy. I'm a dollar guy.
Hey, a dollar.
Yeah,
Hey,
Tooth Fairy,
found a
you
way
get
with
a dollar, maybe a $2 bill or something
Okay.
like that. But I ain't.
So you're not throwing a smooth 50 in there?
Nah, y'all got different.
Smooth
y'all-
Hondo?
There's levels to this, right? And y'all are. I'm not there. I'm lower tier.
Alright,
But
alright.
no, it was good. It was fun spending time with the fam and.
No, but that's good, man. Hey, I'm gonna need you to get on golf. I'm tired of playing something by myself.
I'll go with you.
Get you-
I'm gonna bring my fishing pole with
Tournament
me.
game?
I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Well, anyways, man, before we bring this special guest, I gotta give him a nice little intro because this guy here,
He's nice.
one of Austin's finest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one of because your host is one of them too. So, but man grew up in Austin, born and raised, legend, 512 legend, Austin Star, LBJ alum, Arkansas Razorback.
Yeah.
Or y'all Pig Suey, right? Pig Suey. Man, we got our guy Chris Houston, family, cornerback,
What's happening?
7-year pro.
What's happening?
13-year interception career.
Little
Three
something.
for the TD.
Yeah, 3 for TD.
3 for the T. 3 tugs.
Yeah. He's trying
Little
to be
something.
humble,
Little
yeah.
Just
something.
some sight.
A little something.
Started
Just a little
40,
something.
41st pick overall, second round.
Second round, yes, sir.
2007
Yes, sir.
NFL draft
Yep.
Yeah,
To Atlanta.
to Atlanta Falcons,
Yep.
and then spent the next 3 years in
Three-
Detroit. 3 or
4
4
years. 4 years in Detroit.
And I
yeah.
think you tried to stay in Carolina, and then
Yeah.
the little
Nah.
injury happened, and then
That was it. It was time up.
time is up. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Houston, everybody, come on, get a little round of applause for my guy. Man. Hey man, welcome, man. Welcome,
Appreciate
bro.
you for having me,
So
bro.
what's going? How you
Appreciate
been,
you.
man? How was your weekend? How was?
My weekend was good. It was good. Easter weekend, just watched the kids run around in the backyard and play around and stuff. So it was cool.
I ain't gonna lie, it's so different. Like I've been knowing Chris for, he's been knowing me for
long time.
forever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
since like middle school, and hearing him have kids, just the
Word.
growth in this man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this
Word,
man because,
I appreciate you. I
hey
appreciate
man, this
you.
man taught me a lot of things on and off the field.
On and off the
On and
field.
off the field, and
Man, I
a
appreciate
lot of it
you.
was off the field.
A lot of
A lot of it was off the field. It was great.
we gonna talk.
See, that's
we're
what
gonna talk about.
it.
We're talking about.
That's what Atlanta teach you. I learned that from
there.
Atlanta, so that's what Atlanta
Yeah.
teaches. So I just brought it to all.
So,
Yeah.
give us a little summary, how your recruiting process was. What was it like for you being at LBJ in Austin? Now thinking about it about that time, what was it about 2000?
2000 and
3?
Yeah, 2000.
So this is like before social media was crazy.
Yeah.
You got to give these young kids what our recruiting process was like.
Recruiting process, it was a great learning experience because coming from my family, nobody never went to college, so we didn't understand how to get to college. You know, so like my father and mother, you know, my mother was disabled, and you know, my father, he was incarcerated for a little bit of time, so he came home when I was 7. He introduced me to football. So that process of getting recruited was like. It was fun at the same time, but it was like we was just learning, you know, how to get a scholarship, about a GPA. Got to have a certain GPA to get a scholarship. You have to do the clearinghouse, those type of things. So it was pretty eye-opening, but it was exciting for me.
Now, do you remember who that first letter was that came to your mailbox and said, "Hey"?
I believe it was Nebraska.
You were a good player. I'm sure you
Yeah.
played your sophomore year and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So not really any colleges reaching out or camps. Like what
No,
was that like
see, I
before
didn't-
your offer?
Before my offer, I didn't know about any camps. Like we didn't have the money for it,
Right.
so I didn't know about any camps. I was just like just playing local community ball, you know, for different teams or whatever. But then I just did the process from middle school to high school, and then one of the recruiting coaches came and he was looking at a senior, and I was a junior, and he saw me playing better than, you know, the guys they came to see.
Yeah.
And then all my scholarship offers started coming in.
Yeah.
So that's how it went.
That should give a contest to all you young kids out there, man. You never know who's watching.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, in practice, you know, especially if you know you got a guy that's really gifted and has a future going on to the next level.
Yeah.
You know for sure you're gonna have college coaches coming in. Hey, and sometimes you know you're better than
gotta-
that guy. You gotta handle business.
Well, if you balling, you know
You
what I'm
ballin',
saying.
you gotta let 'em know,
If you
so-
balling, they gonna see it. They
always
gonna see
go
it.
100% each time, man. So, so when you got recruited, did you have like a school in mind?
Yeah. Well, the first school I always wanted to go to was Florida State. You know, just because of watching the rivalry of Florida State and Miami back in the day. You know, it was always a big rivalry. I love Deion Sanders, and that's where he came from. So I just knew about Deion, Peter Warrick, and all them. So that was like my first pick. But when you start to get into it and you start to understand you live in Texas and Florida on a recruit out of Florida. You know what I'm saying? So you narrow it down like, shoot, I ain't going to Florida. You know, they ain't coming down here. You know, so after that, then I kind of started getting scholarship offers from like LSU and those types, and I was familiar with those type of teams because I was looking at them when I was a young kid, and so I started getting those scholarship offers, and that pretty much kind of set up everything else, and kind of gave me that little confidence booster that, you know, I can get to that next level. And once I saw that, it was a wrap.
That's what's up. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty though. Like, 4-star,
Who?
3-star, 4-star?
Me?
Yeah.
No star.
You were no star?
0.
Okay, 0-star. I was 4-star. You were 3-star. Did that like have any effect on like your mentality, as far as like, let's be honest, we all look at lists. We all look at who what people think is better than who, where they ranked. When you saw your name as 3-star and then you looked at their competition, did that deteriorate you? Like dang, like they not seeing me, like I'm probably not gonna, or was it like, oh, they messing up, like they don't know what they getting themselves
Man,
into?
hell no, that like motivated me. It was just like, let me get there, and I'm gonna outwork everybody, because I already was doing it. I just was, you know, I kind of always analyzed people in high school and just kind of watched everybody and kind of saw what everybody else did. And I kind of saw that they didn't really work hard. So I'm like, hey, if I do this, then that'll put me like 10 steps ahead of them. So I kind of picked that up, that habit up in high school. So I kind of was already setting myself up to be better than other people just by my work ethic. And it put me
That's
there.
what's up.
Like I feel like that's like such a key factor in a lot of these like high level athletes is like your ability to observe and like take in everything that's going on around you. I think that's a super underrated quality, because a lot of dudes are athletic and stuff. Like people way probably as athletic or way more, faster, stronger, bigger, but like seeing and finding somebody's weakness. Like I'm watching you on the field, like he can't move in this particular angle, I log it in my brain, and then as I attack him, like it just comes second nature to how to attack somebody. Like so, like watching whether it's you know, you watching people's names on those lists, or you know, you studying a receiver or whatever. Like, how do you feel like the mental part of the game, even back in high school, like gave you an advantage?
The mental part is everything, because you can pretty much have somebody beat just by talking to them crazy in high school, you know, because, you know, when you a high school kid, I mean, people be very emotional. So you can pretty much get in their head like that. And I pretty much just learned that younger just for being competitive. Brought up with all my cousins, older cousins, they pretty much was like 4 or 5 years older than me, and I was forced to play football with them and stuff. So just learning how to talk noise and just see how a person react. Do they go in their shell? And if you know they in their shell, then you just keep on. So, but we learned that from, you know, the hood, you know, cause we ran raised in the hood. So I just transitioned that over to, you know, high school and just playing in the sports world. And it's so key because that's everything. That's probably like 98% of playing football is the mental part. You know, if you know this guy, like in basketball, you know if this guy dribble with his right hand all day, you're going to cut off his right and make him go left. So I'm pretty much, as a defensive back, you got to be observant of that.
Like, I respect y'all DBs. Like, I don't usually say this.
Hey, man, I appreciate receivers.
I respect y'all because y'all, like, we know where we going. Y'all don't. And, like, y'all probably the best, other than, like, a D lineman, like a rush end or somebody, like, the best athletes on the field because you have to transition, you have to react, ball skills, you got to have everything. So, like, just y'all level of athletic ability is like
that's
it's legit.
from
Yeah,
receivers,
I mean,
so.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna consider you a receiver.
I mean,
you an athlete. You do it all.
Well, I mean,
Why would I downplay
game
you like
record,
that?
not a game.
I didn't. My bad. I didn't mean to downplay you like that,
I mean,
Mr. Athlete.
kind of limited me.
I did.
Put me in a
I
box.
apologize.
Don't put me in a box.
I did put
bro.
you in a box. My bad, bro.
Yeah, but y'all like, yeah, it's like I think if there's an athlete in the world, like the best athletes in the world, whether it's basketball,
Y'all
football,
heard it here first, man. Y'all heard it here
I
first.
think you have to think about DBs being like the highest level defensive back is one of the best athletes on the
Because
planet.
it go back to, like you said, the mental part. Like before you break the huddle, you got to know down and distance. You got to know personnel. And then when he line up, you got to know his split and see where your help is and play the odds of that. And that's all mental, you know what I'm saying? It's not physical. So you got to already have all that in you before you can go out there and do the physical part.
Facts,
Now,
bro.
when did that get to you though? Cause I ain't gonna lie. In high school, like we watched film, but we ain't watched film. You know the
Yes.
difference. Like we just watch ourselves.
Let's go play. Yeah.
Like okay, 2 plays later, oh my play finna come up.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah.
me? Like
Yeah.
Or like 3 plays later, like damn, I missed this tackle. I
Yeah,
hope
like,
coach don't see this.
Yeah.
But like for you, what was it? When did it click? Like, all right, I have this athletic ability. I run hella fast. I can move left and right. I'm quick. I'm agile. But when were you like, but how can I like, there's more. There's more to this game than just being athletic. Like how does Ed Reed get 30 or 50 something interceptions? How does Deion do this? You know what I'm saying? When did it click for you?
For me, when I went to Detroit, they actually sat down and taught me football. When I was in Atlanta, they ain't teach me nothing.
And man, what year
So,
was that?
so
for
I'm
you?
saying all the
I
way
was
in,
like, yeah.
in the NFL, is
Yeah.
that when that's when that started?
College, pretty much my whole life, or just in sports world, like I was pretty much the athlete on the team. So coach would say, hey, go take him out the game. Or in basketball, hey, hold him, don't let him score. So I pretty much learned how to study people. If I got to hold them, I pretty much know how to break them down. So pretty much my career was man to man, you know. So like you said, in high school, all I did was, hey, I got this wide receiver, the best wide receiver, all right, give him to me. And I just watch him all day and just see, well, he can't do this, so I'm just gonna do this to him. And then it got to college like that. I just learned how to break people down, you know what I'm saying, and learn what their positives and their negatives were. And but then I got to the league and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's real.
you know, everybody good. You know, I need something to give me a edge. But when I was in Atlanta, they didn't teach us nothing. You know, it was like, hey, watch D'Angelo Hall and just do what he do. You know what I'm saying? And this your man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a personnel down the distance in Detroit. Hey, this man caught 15 balls inside and 3 on the outside, so he's an inside, you know, personnel guy. You know, so it kind of got like that when I went to Detroit.
Who was that for you though? Did you have like a teammate that just sat you down like, bro?
Tim Walton, he set us down, and then he set me down and he taught football like to the whole room. We didn't even have to worry about like the backpedaling part and none of that, because all that really don't matter if you don't know the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. We had tests, all that, like every day. I mean, yeah, pretty much every day we had tests, and but it helped though. It made the game easier.
So I'm sorry. No, like this is just fascinating because I think about it, but like you're the best athlete growing up from a little kid to middle school to high school. Now even in college, like you're an elite athlete, being able to dominate people on the field, but you didn't see your game take to the next level till Detroit, and that's where I know you from most is Detroit. Like for whatever reason, like so many people now, like especially the young guys and girls think like, if I'm not the best athlete right now, then I can't succeed, or I can't be dominant. Like,
Because I'm not it right now.
yeah, because I'm not it right now, or I don't have the athletic ability to be that dominant. I can just line up and guard somebody. Like, what would you tell a kid that's a good athlete, not a dominant one? Like, how would you explain to them how to study the game? How could you help them get better? How could you, like, if you got a DB, like you got a 15-year-old DB?
That takes time. I ain't gonna lie.
What's that?
That takes a lot of
I
time.
mean, it takes time, but like, and it's gonna take, yeah.
I would just tell him pick somebody that's similar to him and watch him. That's good. You know, and get up close and personal with, you too, watch them. You know, they got practice tape. I know it's a tape of, guys in practice, one-on-ones, the Real Revis, and on YouTube, and different guys on YouTube that you can watch the little practice one-on-ones. And you can just take stuff from them until you get there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would tell a young man. Watch somebody on YouTube that's similar to their style, and also watch how they work, and then just intertwine that. But it do take time to get there though. If you got somebody now, some people have their father in their house who played the game, who can teach them, like Patrick Surtain Jr. You know what I'm saying? His father was good in Miami, so I know he giving him that game. So. Yeah, Asante Samuel Jr. too. They had that, so they understand splits early and getting all that early.
Man, I mean, honestly, it's 2023 nowadays. Like you said, like you can literally pull up any one-on-ones, any 7-on-7, any player that you look up to, and pull up his highlights, pull up game film, and just watch him.
But you get that from, well, I guess you got to be observant. Like
you got to be. You got to care. You got to want to be something to be great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're looking up to a guy that doesn't really play, I mean, you're going to get that experience. But if you're looking to a guy like Ed Reed, Deion Sanders, Charles Woodson, Champion, all those guys made it, and like it's stamped. There is no, I used to be, like, nah. It's stamped there. Watch what he does.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when you do watch, bro, ask questions, man.
Yeah.
Ask questions to the right people now.
Oh,
Don't just be asking questions to anybody. But ask questions to, like, when you do go to camps, go to coach. Go to somebody you feel comfortable with. Man, I have players that I never even met, or players that I've coached once or twice in camps that will DM me and be like, hey coach, what can I work on? Or how can I get better at this? I'd be like, I send them some videos. I'd be like, if you're not good at that or really great at that, then don't come back to any more questions until you're great at that. I start with the foundation, and then you go forward. I mean, I feel like if you're interested in something, you're gonna want to find. Like you're gonna find
the
information.
You're gonna find
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you have to reach out on DM, on Twitter, Instagram, and all these other social media sites,
There's a way to find out.
there's a way to find out. Yeah. But you have to be hungry and driven to be great. It was like asking Jairus Byrd how he get 11 interceptions in a year, and then watch him, and then actually like watch him practice. Not really the game. It's like how he practiced, how he prepared mentally. That's where it starts. It's like it's like watching your favorite movie over and over to the point where you know every line. Your game day should be the least, like there should be no worries. Like it should be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but when you say practice harder than games, like I think it's kind of confusing. Well, to me, it's confusing because like physically it can be. I can make it physically hard. I can run hard, And like that's gonna make the games easy physically. But like, how do you make the game harder mentally in practice?
Mentally, I went against Calvin Johnson every day. You know, I always, when I first got to Arkansas to get better, I went with the 5th-year senior George Wilson, and he was a receiver there. Then he ended up playing safety with Buffalo too.
Yeah, he went on safety.
Best one in SEC. I went with him like every day, and I was on a freshman, and he used to kill me like every day. But I started picking up stuff on him, so when I got to somebody who was younger than him and didn't know, it was easier for me. So that transitioned to the NFL, and that's how. I got better mentally going against Calvin every day. I don't care if it was one-on-one drill, if it was a stalk drill, whatever. I went with him, and because I know I had to go against Brandon Marshall. You know, another week I had to go against them guys in Green Bay, Jordy Nelson,
Dwayne Bowe,
Greg Jennings. I had to go against the bigger guys, and the smaller guys. So I knew if I can hold Calvin every day, and you know I can compete with him, then shoot, going against anybody on Sunday would be easier. And that's how I made it harder for me mentally.
With your story that you said that it took you about your 5th year to actually get to know the game, it's crazy that you say that because now, you know, Combine has already came and gone. You know, you did your fair share. You did your workouts right after you decided to go into the draft. For me personally, my process in the draft and Combine, leading up to Combine, you remember those meetings? They would come in and I ain't gonna, mine was trash. I embarrassed myself. Like I knew what I had to do. Bro, I had New England, bro. I had New England. And this is right before I went to coach my secondary coach, Dwayne Akina. I was like, Coach, I got New England coming in. I need your help. And Coach Kina, God bless his heart, man. He put in so much information to me that I just was like, I don't know.
That way of picking it up.
I have no idea what I'm getting myself into tomorrow. So when the DB coach from New England came at the time, bro, he drew up. And these were basic coverages, dog. Now looking back, these were the most basic coverage, but bro, for me in college, I had Earl Thomas, Blake Gideon, Curtis Brown, Shockey Brown. So we were a man defense, basically. Every now and then we run zone, but for the most part, you get your guy, I get my guy, and do your job. Bro, he gave us he gave me a cover 3 or a cover 6, and then he gave me cover 3, and then he's like, all right, nickel's in the game. I'm like, okay, that's what I did in college. Easy money. What does nickel do? I do this. I'm 5 yards outside. I got seam flat. Da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. What does that free safety do? You say it's 4, so 4, 2. I think but I'm looking at him like over. Then he drew a cover 3, and I knew what I had to do, but then I didn't know what the free, strong, what the will had to do, what the mic, what the sandwich. Bro, he hit me with so much, and I felt unprepared, but I knew that I can play at that level, but giving that first impression of like, do I actually know the game? Are we going to invest in you into leading this team into to add to the team instead of just being on the team? I was like, I'm not going to New England. I knew right then and there. So for you saying that, like, how was your experiences with those NFL meetings, with those coaches coming in and just not only get to know you, but
I only had that one time, and I believe that was with the Giants. We drove up there. It was me, Darrelle Revis, and I think Eric Wright, and we went from Jersey Jets to the Giants. We went to some team, but we had to ride in a limo, and we got to the Giants, and they wanted me to drive like cover 2 and all this. I ain't know none of that. And I felt like dumb too, but at the same time, when I was at the Combine, I didn't get those questions those board questions. Only thing I probably got that was the most hardest is the Jets called us in the room, and then Coach told us he introduced us to everybody. It was like 20 people in the room, and then he was like, all right, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Mangini, yeah, what's his name? I was like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't remember all these people. You know, that was the only one, but Pretty much, they just pretty much talked about recruiting me for a man team. So I pretty much went to man team. So I really didn't have to draw too much on the board. But
Damn, you got lucky, bro.
yeah, but it was a long process though. It was real long. Going from room to room. You know, teams in there to ask you, they're gonna know everything about you from what you did in middle school, your grades, you know, about your mom, your dad, your sisters, you know. But everything pretty much went smooth. I was just ready to go. I was just ready to run and do the weights and leave. But yeah, it was a long process.
Like I obviously know his experience because we're both DBs. How was it for like offensive guys as far as like receivers and quarterbacks? Like, are they telling y'all? Are they giving their basic playbook and saying, okay, remember this in 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to test you and like?
I didn't. It's crazy. I didn't have any meetings at the combine.
What?
Everybody was getting their meetings and like, oh, I got 4 at 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I ain't getting nothing. I got nothing. I mean, I think I got one and just somebody asked me like, so I didn't feel lonely. Like somebody asked me, like, anybody been in Detroit, like come sit at our table and talk. But nobody, I had nothing. Even when they came to work me out at my school, like they just worked out and left. Like they didn't talk to me.
Why is that?
I don't know, bro.
Did you ever ask?
No, it's weird. That's crazy. Nobody.
But because you're an athlete, so your story's different. I know you
Yeah.
started at quarterback, but
Yeah. So I mean, finished the bowl game, then I trained playing quarterback. So like pre-combine, everything leading up to it, combine, I threw quarterback, everything, and then my workouts, I had like 4. 3 of them, all 4 I played quarterback, and the last one I like caught a punt or something, like randomly. So it was like on the draft day, it was like, okay, hey, we might take you with this pick to play quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And then the one that actually, so that the first day that goes by, hey, we're going to take you with this one. That don't happen. They'll take you this one, going here. Then they take like Tavares Jackson or like, that was that year. And then like the Jets coming forth, and I was like, we're going to draft you with this pick, but you're going to do kind of whatever we need you to do. So I ain't going to say no.
right.
And so, like, that's my situation. That's how I got, so I would do half the practice at quarterback, then do half the practice at receiver.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. So, going in, like, I hear stories about guys having to drop concepts and they give you a play call and you got to, remember it verbatim. Like, that's the stuff you got to know. But for me, that's just wasn't my experience.
See, this is why I love this podcast. This is why I love the Connected podcast, because when we connect, like we always talk, but when we get together, we don't really talk about our experiences detailed.
Yeah.
We just talk, how you doing?
Yeah.
We got a guy who had 0 stars in high school.
Yeah.
We had another guy who had 3 stars in high school, but didn't have the back that most people or some people do. Mm-hmm. And then you have me who was 4-star, but still had, like, everyone has their own journey. Mm-hmm. And your journey was how I want to be great. Well, I'm a quarterback, but also I'm a receiver and a punt returner. So you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. Yeah. I'm a locked up down corner. I do this, but at the same time, I know that there's more to this game mentally. So let me do this and that. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm not trying to be put in the box as well. I'm a corner, I'm a nickel, I'm a safety, but also I can do whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. How can I make this team better? I love that, to let these young people know that, man, everyone has a role, dog. Mm-hmm. Not everyone can wear a Superman cape. Right. Not everyone can be Batman. Like, Batman is Batman because he's with Robin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, everyone has their little pieces, and I feel like nowadays everybody wants to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to be in front of the Sports Illustrated cover. Yeah. Everybody wants to be Dave Campbell magazine cover.
It don't happen like that.
But it don't happen like that. Like, but also there's things that come with it now. Like, for me, I was Sports Illustrated and Dave Campbell, but there was pressure behind that. So now people are like, okay,
the expectations high.
that man, he's the man. He on cover.
Especially with social sites.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
They're the man, and then you turn on Sunday, you like, dang, bro, you was doing all them drills on Instagram, and Odell Beckham still running routes right now on you. You know what I'm saying? So, but it goes to show, whoever works the hardest is gonna show on Sunday.
What can you give our young student athletes male and female. Can you give them just a brief, just your own monologue of social media is so fake? You know what I'm saying? And that you can pretend to be someone all you want to, but when it comes in between those white lines or on that hardwood or on that diamond, that's when your true self shows up. So, like, we didn't come from an era of I'm gonna put my 40 time on this website. It was, hey, meet me at the park. You say you better than me, meet me at the park. You
And
get your
it in
quarterback
right now.
right. We'll
get it in.
handle it.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like because we all want to be accepted, we all want to be noticed, and I get that, we're all human beings. But when you start pulling false things for yourself, you hurt yourself at the end of the day. Because
see it all
people's
the
attention
time.
span is very short. So when I see you seeing it, like you see someone that says they run a 4.2, 4.3.
Go out there run a 4.5.
It's like,
4.6.
and then he run out there on a 4.5, 4.4, like,
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a difference.
It's a huge difference. So like, just give me like how you feel about that. Like,
I just want to let them know that just you got to put in the work. Like social media ain't nothing but entertainment.
entertainment, man.
Scratch all that. You know, you got to go to work. You know, that's gonna separate the Instagram people from the real people. Like I said, you see kids do all these drills on Instagram, all these pedaling, turn, flip this way, go this way, and they posting them. And then I look on Sunday, and I'm seeing this guy lined up inside of the tight end with the tight end tight split to the core. And I'm saying, why is he inside? And the dude run a 7 out, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, boy, he don't even know the game. He look good. So all that really don't mean nothing. So to me, Instagram don't mean nothing. It's nothing but entertainment. The real work is when the camera ain't on. You know, that's when you putting the real work in. When ain't nobody watching. That's what's gonna separate you from everybody's when nobody watching.
It be seeming lonely sometimes too.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be lonely. It's lonely at the top. It's gonna be lonely. You're gonna have to put in that work. You're gonna have to go here and work out by yourself. You're gonna have to travel here and go there and do by yourself. So it's definitely gonna be a long time, but that's what it takes to be the best and get to the top.
Honestly, I think a lot of it is motivated by fear. Like, and you can't be motivated by fear and be a dog.
Yeah.
I think, a scared dog is different from a confident dog.
They sit on the porch and bark, man.
Yeah, sit on the porch and bark until somebody I think the fear is either I'm not good enough, or if I don't post all this, or if I don't make myself known, then I'm not going to get an opportunity, right? So I at least have to appear bigger than I am to make room for myself.
Everybody think they kid going to the NFL and the NBA, and you be telling them like they didn't, like you said, they didn't see the running in the 110 heat, running hundreds, during the summer when everybody, partying. You missing out on Texas relays because I'm in Arkansas doing that. They don't see that. They think it's, overnight. But you got to put that work in, and that's the only way you're gonna get better. Got to put that work in.
So you graduated high school what year?
Class of 03.
2003. Okay, I was 2001. So I think maybe it was just starting with so we used to get our information from newspapers and magazines. Newspapers. Wow. Ooh.
Bruh.
Yeah. Newspapers. So you said USA Today, All American. That's how you got it. That's how you saw it. Yeah. Or VHS.
Hold on.
Hold on. No,
I'm the
bro.
end of the old era into the new era.
Did you get a little bit of VHS?
I got a little bit. Man, I got 3 VHSs right now ready to be pulled up.
All right.
My highlights is very much.
So it was VHS, right? So when I came out, I think the number 1 player in the country was DJ Williams. He's a linebacker.
yeah.
I think he was in Poly, maybe. Ended up going to Miami. But he was that. But as big as he was a number 1. I saw his name. I felt like I knew DJ Williams because I saw his name everywhere. But I never saw him play. Right? Or I would see all the other top ranked, here's a quarterback from here, from Minnesota. I'm I know the name, but I've never seen them do anything on the field. Yeah. It was so different because I had nothing to compare myself to. Right? And now they have
Everything.
Everybody, I call it the phenom syndrome.
Everyone's a phenom.
Everybody wants to be that phenom.
Yeah.
Now it's the pressure as an athlete and as a parent is to make sure your kid's that phenom. So that means I got to do extra trainers. Now you staying up, no days off. Going, doing all this crazy stuff because obviously my kid is that phenom. Like, not you're a dad. You got two baby girls. Like, how do you see yourself approaching it, or in the world that you see, like how you being around athletes still, like, is that sustainable? How would you approach it if you were a parent right now?
I don't pressure them into nothing. I want them to come up and have their own niche. I'm gonna put them in something just to be athletic, but I'm gonna let them pick. I got girls, so I really don't have to worry about football. But I said if I had a little boy, I would wait to make him play football. That it'd be his choice. I wouldn't force him into it. So that's how I try to be with my baby girls. I put them more about academics before sports. So I don't even have any. My girl is 7. She wants to get into basketball and all that right now, but I want her to focus on her grades first. Yeah. So that's how, the mental part. So that's how I approach it with them. I'm gonna let them come up, but I'm gonna let them pick it on their own. Their passion. I ain't gonna force them in nothing. I'm gonna put them in everything and let them find what they like, and then if that's what they want to pursue, then I will, find them maybe a mentor or somebody that's in it, and go about it that route.
And so something they so she's 10 years old, gravitates to track. Yeah. Okay, now find you a mentor, put you on the track team. Hey, go run. But I think that a lot of what we see is they gravitate to that, or they show, they show the ability to be good at something. But now, okay, he like it.
Gotta put it in this.
I'm doing this. I'm doing this tech. Now, hey, we running hills every other day. Like, and that's what, bro, it's what it's become, yeah.
People be wanting me to train their kids so young, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to train them. Just let them have fun. Yeah. You don't even know what position he gonna play when he get older, because it's gonna change. So you drilling him in this, and then he get up here, he a whole O-lineman or something, So you know what I'm saying? So it's like a waste of time and money. So I don't even like to drill the kids. I just like them to go out there and have fun and run around. You know what I'm saying? Like we were. That's how I was taught. Go out there, have fun, run around, and that was it.
Yeah. Get off this, y'all. Especially you student athletes. This gonna get you in trouble.
Bro. That is like, it's so simple, but we miss it as in the youth sports world. We miss it. Like, just my kids being at that age where they're really starting to get into it. Like, it goes over people's head because they think if my kid's not 12 or 13 and he's not the elite ranked on this list, and then my kid doesn't have a chance, or he shouldn't be on this team, or I should focus on somebody else because they're not. And
they have no idea, and starting them and put all that pressure on their body. They just don't know, like, all the football they're gonna have to do when they get to college. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be football until you retire.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me going pro, man, I'm telling you right now, like, the game of football started getting less and less fun the higher and higher I got. And I feel bad for these kids now because they're getting put on so much pressure from their parents.
They're not even allowed to have fun unless they get to the right, team, coaches, college.
High school, you don't have a choice, so you got to do what you have to do with there. College, you do have a choice, but then again, you got to play game there, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's I always tell parents, and I'm not going to say anything about kids because I don't got kids myself, but just from being around it, I always tell parents that kids in middle school, in 8th grade and less, bro, just have fun. Yeah. Have fun. Like, don't worry about how fast your 40 is. Don't worry about how you're not even done growing yet, man. Play receiver, play safety, play tight end, play fullback, play running back, play all the positions you can, because there will be one day where coach is going to look at you and be like, nah, we need you here. We need you here. Yeah. So regardless of what it is, have fun, but at the same time, like, work hard. Yeah. And everything you do, no matter football, basketball, baseball, track, like, practice every day like it's game day, honestly. Like, because then when game day happens, when the baseball game happens, when basketball game and the football, on those game days, those days are just like, oh, it's showtime. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where you can eat, you know what I'm saying, show your skills off and show the hard work that you put off camera. because everyone sees what you do on your game days, whether it be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but they don't be seeing those cold tubs before and after practice, Monday through Thursday and Friday sometimes. They don't be seeing the extra sprints you do after practice, the extra film work you do,
Bro.
the nutrition,
Yeah.
the sleep, massages.
Yeah.
I can keep going, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
It's like, come
that's
on.
another thing. We got to talk about it. Because there are now a lot of kids now that we grew up with that are starting to have kids, and the people we know, they made it. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of friends whose sons are about the middle school-ish age area and a little bit younger, but you still got kids looking up and be like, yo, your dad is Brad Smith, your dad is Brian Arakpo, your dad is Michael Hug, your dad's Chris Houston. Like, oh, you supposed to be raw. And it's like, he don't even know who he is yet. He don't know if he even likes football or likes basketball or track or whatever the sport they're in.
Yeah.
To them, now they feel pressure to being my dad or better.
So how you deal with that with your son and him thinking he got to be you?
He is. I love him. I love my son.
He watching this too, so.
Love you, boy. He don't care about nothing. Like, I think growing up, I'm from the hood too, in Youngstown, Ohio. So all we did was go outside in the patch of grass in the backyard and just hit each other like football.
Yup.
We just played. So I think, but now since I played in the league and he has a life where that's just not a thing, right? He's not in that type of environment. So his view of the game is more cerebral. It's more processing it, understanding coverages, understanding alignments. So that's been my approach with it. But like, it's hard for me because I want him to go in the backyard and just go play football. Or go work out, go throw. But since we went outside and played in the yard with all these other kids. And that's how we got there.
Really,
I wanted to be Amp Lee when I was little. Nobody remember Amp Lee. He's a running back for the 49ers. Shout out to Amp Lee. But like, I thought I was Amp Lee because I had his football card. And I would just go act like Amp Lee in the backyard, playing against all the older kids. That's how we played. All right. But now, I can't send them. Like, they ain't playing at the parks. So everything is so structured now, Chris. Everything is, you got to be in this league. You got to go to this tournament. You got to have this training. Like, if I want to get him on the field, like we're going to the field and work out. It's not like I can just send you out there with your friends. So it's hard. I want him to have that experience. Like
Playing with a bunch of other kids, kind of like how you measure yourself. You like, okay, well, yeah, I do got some extra something, you know, because, you know, other people in the hood tell you like, hey, that boy good. Hey, who is that? And you start getting that. When you start getting that, you like, well, maybe I got something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they don't got that today, like you said. All they got is like Instagram. A person look at that highlight and tell them how good they is and or they practice, and then they get out there and it's like I said, I'll be watching Saturdays and Sundays and I'll be seeing DBs who doing all the fancy drills getting ran by, and I'm just like, for what? But
I wanted to ask you, since you said it, like growing up, your situation with your father being incarcerated and your mom disability in the hood, east side of Austin. And at that time, it wasn't east side with the juice,
Not now.
with the juice places and
No.
people riding
East
bicycles
Austin
and stuff.
back in 2000-ish area before then was crazy.
You were walking through that area. So, what was it like? Like, how did you? People are in very similar situations as you, and me, and Aaron's a little different, but which is a blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, for kids that grew up in a situation like that, like,
man, that was one of the
they say, how'd you make it out?
probably toughest things I ever had to do, just because my family pretty much in the streets, pretty much everybody, you know, all the males, you know, and then my sisters, they had like boyfriends and they was pretty much in the streets too and from prison, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I saw, you know. But then when my dad came home, then, you know, I had that father figure to give me direction, you know, so that was like a huge thing. But then once I got into football and I had to kind of start picking out, you know, my friends and you know, kind of seeing who did what. All right, you know, my friends from sports became my best friends for life. You know, you meet your guys when you in little league and y'all go to the same middle school, high school. So they had kind of the similar parents. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't do like get in trouble, crazy stuff. We pretty much was same minded sports. You know, go home, watch the game, know about the Jordans, tennis shoes. That was pretty much all we knew. You know, we didn't know like the street part. You know, so that kind of helped me out with just who I hung around. You know, I kind of weeded out the guys from the streets. But then being from here, like since I was like one of the most athletic here, like the street guys looked after me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, don't do this, or you better be home, or you can't do that, or you can you can't come with us. You got to go in the house. Hey, you can't do that. You didn't do that. So I was pretty much protected. You know, when I'm out. Still to this day, I'm still kind of protected like that. So that was like a big reason too. And then just finding mentors, bro. I was in like every good program in school. I was like in Upper Bound. It was like a program to show us about college. You know, I was in all them programs. I did everything to keep me busy throughout the summer and from having downtime. Like my mom sent me to play with, you know, go play with this team, to go out of town to play at this tournament. So that's how I got out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Was pretty much my mother put me in things to do and my father put me in things to do. So they just kept me busy. They didn't give me no downtime. Cause with downtime, you know, being in the hood, you ain't got nothing but downtime bad stuff to do. Go ride your bike and go play here with somebody and throwing rocks and stuff like that. You know, so that's how I kind of weeded out.
It also sounds like you made just the decision for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you weeded out the people. Like you could have kept those people that you met. You could have been loyal to them just because they were there since day one. Mm-hmm. But you knew like, hey, out of love for myself, I can't.
Like I said, my father, he was strict.
So
my father was very strict when he came home. So like all the other kids, they could probably like hang out late. They can probably talk to their mom like this. They can probably do that. My dad didn't play that. It was like, yes, sir, no, sir. I couldn't walk around the house with my pants down. I couldn't, I had to take out the trash. Yeah. I had to do all that, you know, and I pretty much come up under my elders. You know, my church is a very church family, you know, so I had uncles that, I had uncles that would, you know, whoop my butt if, you know, I did anything, you know, so I kind of got it from everybody because everybody saw the potential in me. But that's how I pretty much, you know, weeded out the bad stuff, bro, was my father. I was scared of my father, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't my friend. He whooped me, you know, but, you know, I'm thankful for that today because I seen like what that discipline did. I needed that because, you know, as far as when you go to college, to the pros, you got to be on time. You can't be late. You can't sag. You know, I see Deion Sanders on Instagram, and he don't allow like certain players to wear this and certain players to wear that. That's how my dad brought me up. So it transferred over to college, to the work world. You know what I'm saying? To the real world, I should say.
Sounds like discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like in football, you know, you run this yard and do that. Your dad said take the trash out, and if you didn't take the trash out, this discipline, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't run this 5 yards, you mess the play up. Everything connects with everything.
But there's a difference between, like, I want you to have character so you can play, versus I want you to have character so you can be a good man.
Man, in general.
Like, and that carries over to your football. Your dad wasn't playing about, like, he didn't know you were going to the NFL at whatever age that was.
He just wanted you to be a good man.
I want you to do it right.
Yeah.
I want you to do it right. And, like, just the mentality that we got to have as athletes and parents and as a community of athletics and being connected to one another is like, we got to be a community that cares about the person before the athlete.
Right.
And I didn't know it as a young boy. I'm thinking he's just the meanest person because I'm watching, you know, other people that I come up with being able to do certain stuff. And then I start understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like when my life kind of went this way and others went that way, I'm like, damn.
So before we close out, man, two things. One, I want you to give your some guidance and tips on. I know a lot of college kids are gonna be watching this, especially the ones that are fortunate enough to make it to the draft. Wow, NFL draft that's coming up in a couple weeks. I did it with family just because that's who got me there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really want a big party, big deal, or anything. How did you do it? 1, 2, what tips can you give those guys that are, you know, the ones who are going to New York, the ones who aren't going to New York, and the ones who might get undrafted, the ones who may not hear their name, what to expect on draft day, knowing that there's 3 days, like give them a little insight, and then, yeah, we'll close it off from there.
I invited some friends over. I wanted to stay with my family. I always saw it on TV as a kid. You know, I even if I said I would have went top 10, I wouldn't have went. I want to be home, so that's how I did it. And my second thing was just to tell them, you know, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Enjoy it. They only come around one time in your life, so enjoy it. And for those that may not get drafted, it's plenty of stories we see of undrafted people, you know what I'm saying, who go on to make it years and years and years and years, like Tom Brady. You know, he still was playing, and when I was in middle school, and I ended up playing against him, and he still was winning after I retired, you know what I'm saying? So you got different stories out there of different guys, plenty of stories out there. So, you know, choose from your whatever position you're in. Find a story to motivate you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get drafted, then just go after it and enjoy the moment. That's it.
Well, one more thing. 5 quick rapid questions, just random questions that I have for you. Ask them to the best of your ability.
Uh-oh.
Just want to see what I want the people to know what his taste is and stuff. You know what I mean?
Got to get to know.
So from an Austin legend, who's the best DB in your eyes that's ever graced?
Deion Sanders, of course.
Deion Sanders. Best conference in college football.
SEC.
The best high school in Austin, Texas.
Best high school.
Right now.
LBJ.
Or just in general, you're serious.
LBJ.
LBJ, of course.
Yeah.
So biased, man. I'm just trying to get this guy.
My wife would do it.
Favorite off-season vacation spot with the boys after this season's over with?
Mine's Miami. You can never lose in Miami. So,
Okay.
Miami.
And in your knowledge and recollection of all the Austin athletes that's come around since you've been on gracing this wonderful earth of ours, who is the top athlete to come out of Austin, Texas?
Dig Night Train Lane.
That's a good. I tested him. I tested him.
Be the best.
Make sure my guy knows his history. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm a solid second though. I'm a solid second.
Solid second.
We're tied.
2 and 2A, 2B.
Yeah. No, man, but Chris, man, that's family. My
Thank you for
family, the
having
guy I
me.
looked up
Thank
to.
you for having me, B.
I appreciate you
Appreciate you.
coming, gracing us on our podcast, your memories, and man, take that knowledge that we've given you guys, and I hope you guys put it to the test in your own worlds. We look forward to you guys next episode. Please follow us, subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends, your mom, your daddy, your girlfriend, your ex, all that. Tell them to come here. If you love sports, you want to get some tips on how to hopefully make it there to the next level on each occasion, we would love to help you out any way possible. Stay wavy, stay blessed. See you next time.